King Cotton hit a record high in 1860 with exports topping $191 million, making it the dominant commodity driving the U.S. economy. Because cotton fuels 3/4 of U.S. exports, political and industrial power concentrates in the South. Meanwhile, amid the chaos of war, slavery, and Reconstruction, one man quietly builds an empire that rivals some of the South's most powerful industrials. William Cooper, formerly enslaved, self-educated, and determined, emerges in Memphis, Tennessee, just 3 years after the Civil War ends. He's not a politician or a preacher, he's a businessman. Cooper starts small, selling leftover lumber from abandoned Confederate camps. He buys at $5 per 1,000 board feet, resells at $15, and uses every dollar to grow. Because he understands something most freedmen don't have access to: scalable capital and compounding growth. By 1875, he owns 2 sawmills, employs over 80 workers, both black and white, and supplies timber to Memphis construction projects. He's not just building wealth, he's creating jobs across racial lines. At a time when white employers rarely hire black workers in skilled roles, Cooper doesn't pay fairly. By 1880, he controls 30% of the city's lumber trade. In the Reconstruction South, that's nearly unheard of for a black entrepreneur. But Cooper doesn't stop at wood. In 1885, while most banks deny loans to black citizens or charge them 20% interest, Cooper opens Cooper Bank, Tennessee's first black-owned bank. He capitalizes it with $50,000 of his own money, $1.5 million in today's value, and serves hundreds of customers overlooked by white institutions. Within 5 years, his bank funds over 400 small businesses, mortgages, and farms. It becomes the economic lifeline for black communities across Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. By 1890, Cooper's among the wealthiest black men in the South. He owns a 3-story home, donates to schools, and builds Cooper Block, a mixed-use commercial strip housing black and tailors, grocers, a printing press, and a free clinic. Cooper Block attracts over 10,000 visitors a day. He pledges $25,000 to fund scholarships at Fisk and Morehouse colleges, underwriting degrees for over 150 black students, many of whom become doctors, lawyers, and teachers. He's not just building wealth, he's building infrastructure, education, and generational opportunity. In any other world, his name would be carved into history books, but in America, it vanishes. Because after the 1896 Plessy v. Ferguson decision legalizes segregation, white Memphis elites begin targeting Cooper. Local newspapers, which once praised his business acumen, now accuse him of economic agitation. City officials block permits, restrict shipping access to his mills, and manipulate property taxes on Cooper Block. Then, in 1906, it gets worse. The State Banking Commission, under pressure from rival bankers, launches a surprise audit on Cooper Bank. Although the bank is solvent, they shut it down, citing a minor bookkeeping error. Depositors panic. Cooper's clients lose faith. Loans are frozen. With no way to process payments, Cooper's lumber contracts collapse. In just 18 months, he loses over $500,000 in assets. That's $15 million today. He dies in 1910, financially broken. Culturally, obituaries barely mention his bank, mills, or philanthropy. Newspapers, once documenting his every move, go silent. His buildings are renamed. His scholarship fund is absorbed into white-run institutions. By 1925, not a single Memphis business registry lists the Cooper name. So why is his story gone? Because by the 1920s, black economic power is viewed as a threat to white supremacy. Black business success stories are systematically excluded from public memory. According to historian Dr. Angela Roberts, over 60% of pre-1900 black business records in the South are lost, either intentionally discarded or simply never archived. And Cooper is among the biggest casualties of that erasure. His deeds vanish from city records during a 1948 file purge. No portraits survive. His family line disappears from census rolls by the 1950s. Cooper becomes a ghost. It takes more than a century for his name to re-emerge. In 2018, Jamal Bryant, a graduate student at Fisk University, uncovers Cooper's lost bank charter while researching black financial institutions. That one document sparks a chain reaction. Through probate records, building permits, and hidden ledgers, Bryant reconstructs Cooper's empire piece by piece. Memphis Heritage Foundation launches an effort to restore Cooper Block. The scholarship fund is revived under a new initiative, and in 2022, the city declares William Cooper Day for the first time. But still, Cooper's name isn't in business textbooks. He isn't taught in schools. Unlike Madam C.J. Walker, celebrated nationally as America's first self-made black millionaire, Cooper's legacy remains regional, fragile, and largely unknown. And yet, his story matters now more than ever. Because today, black entrepreneurs still face systemic barriers. Just 2% of venture capital funding goes to black founders. Black-owned businesses are denied loans at twice the rate of white-owned ones. The average black household holds just $24,000 in wealth, compared to $188,000 for white households. William Cooper's model of reinvesting locally, creating accessible banking, and lifting up his communities more relevant now than ever before. And maybe that's why his story was buried, because it proves something powerful. That black excellence isn't new, that black entrepreneurship isn't marginal, that even in the face of slavery, segregation, and systemic sabotage, someone like William Cooper could build and rebuild again and again. This is the story of a man who refused to be small in a system that told him he was. A man who built banks, funded futures, and left a legacy that racism tried to erase but couldn't fully destroy. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.